Welcome to The Explainer. So, today we're unpacking a really brilliant counseling guide put together by Dr. Mukesh Pimpliskar, who founded Samyak Educon. If you're currently trying to map out your academic future, or maybe you're helping someone who is, you are absolutely in the right place. He designed this material specifically to help students demystify two incredible, but honestly very frequently confused academic paths. I mean, it's incredibly common to feel totally torn about this. High schoolers, parents, even seasoned academic counselors constantly grapple with this anxiety. Because think about it, you love science, right? You want to make a massive impact on human health. But then, when it actually comes time to declare a major, you're hit with these degree options that sound confusingly similar. You want to make the right choice, obviously, but it's completely overwhelming when the distinctions just aren't clear. Well, that's exactly what we're going to fix for you right now. Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1, Two Paths in Healthcare. Moving right along to Section 2, Defining the Disciplines. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of the definitions, the absolute first thing to understand is that both of these disciplines live under the massive umbrella of healthcare. They share the exact same ultimate mission, which is to improve human health and well-being. But, and this is key, they take two completely different routes to get there. Let's lay down the foundational definitions. Basically, think of this as a choice between the microscope and the wrench. Here's our microscope side. Biotechnology is, well, exactly what it sounds like when you break the word apart. It uses living organisms, cells, genes, and fundamental biological processes to actually develop products and new technologies. If you go down this path, your whole world revolves around pure biology. You're going to be deep into genetics, microbiology, molecular biology, and bioprocessing. It's totally perfect for students who are passionately interested in the pure life sciences and have a strong drive to do research. You are quite literally using biology as your manufacturing plant. Now, let's look at the wrench side of the equation. Biomedical engineering completely flips the script. Instead of using living organisms as your primary tool, this field takes traditional, hard engineering principles and applies them directly to solve medical and healthcare problems. This path is heavy on the engineering side. You'll be studying electronics, mechanics, computer science, right alongside the medical sciences. It's really built from the ground up for students who sit perfectly at that intersection of engineering and healthcare tech. Now, what's really interesting about this is when we weigh these core academic focuses side by side, the contrast is just stark. On one side, you have genetics and microbiology. On the other, electronics and mechanics. As a student, you really have to ask yourself, which of these actually gets you excited? Do you want to manipulate DNA, or do you want to build a robotic circuit? Both are absolutely vital to modern medicine, but they require very, very different day-to-day academic studies. All right, Section 3, the simple analogy. Because, let's be honest, definitions can sometimes feel a bit dry. So let's look at a concrete analogy. Dr. Pimpliskar provides these two incredibly helpful guiding questions. This first one is the fundamental driving question that a biotechnologist wakes up and asks every single day. How can we use living cells and biological systems to improve human life? They view living cells, microorganisms, and biological systems as the ultimate tool set. To them, nature has already built the perfect microscopic machinery, and their job is to figure out how to harness it. Notice how the biomedical engineer's question shifts the focus entirely. They aren't looking at cells as tools. They're looking at physical components. Their driving question is all about design and construction. They're asking, how can we build machines and devices that doctors can actually use? Their toolset is hardware, software, and mechanical engineering, all used to create technologies that diagnose or treat patients. Which brings us to Section 4, the COVID-19 case study. To truly lock in the difference between these two fields, let's look at a powerful reality we all recently lived through, the global COVID-19 pandemic. And this brilliantly illustrates how the two fields operated side by side in a literal two-pronged attack. So biotechnologists fought the virus at a microscopic level. They were the ones in the labs who studied the actual virus, developed the mRNA vaccines through genetic engineering and tissue culture, and created the biological components for those diagnostic kits. But they definitely didn't do it alone. While the biologists were formulating vaccines, the engineers were building the vital machines that kept patients breathing. They developed the mechanical ventilators and ECMO machines, they built the electronic monitoring devices used in the ICUs, and they engineered the physical equipment used to rapidly process all those diagnostics. One field tackled the biology of the crisis, while the other engineered the mechanical response. Let's move to Section 5, Future Career Opportunities. With that really practical example in mind, let's shift our focus toward the future. The career outlook for both of these fields is absolutely exploding right now. Advancements in healthcare, artificial intelligence, genomics, personalized medicine, it's all driving massive demand. If you choose biotechnology, your career opportunities are heavily centered around creating biological products. You could be working in pharmaceuticals or biopharmaceuticals, literally engineering the next breakthrough drugs. But hey, it's not just medicine. Biotechnologists also work in agriculture, the food industry, or even developing sustainable biofuels. It is a highly research-intensive path, focused on utilizing biology at a massive scale. Switching over to biomedical engineering careers, we move from the biological scale to a macro, hardware scale. The landscape here looks much more mechanical and technological. You're looking at roles within medical device companies, directly inside hospitals, or in the broader healthcare tech sector. You could be working on medical imaging, like designing the next generation of MRI machines. Or you could be in robotics, designing prosthetic limbs, wearable health devices, or, get this, even engineering artificial organs. It is all about bringing hardware and software solutions to life. And finally, Section 6, Finding Your Perfect Fit. We've covered the definitions and the real-world applications. Now it's time to act as your own academic counselor. So the crucial point is this very simple decision matrix drawn straight from Dr. Pimpliskar's guide. Ask yourself, what do you actually love doing on a daily basis? If you love pure biology, if you're fascinated by the life sciences and want to spend your time in a lab running genetic or cellular research, biotechnology is probably going to be the better fit for you. Go left. But if you enjoy biology and you equally love mathematics and engineering, if you're the kind of person who likes tinkering, building, and solving mechanical problems, then biomedical engineering might just be your perfect fit. Go right. Dr. Pimpliskar's final, perfectly distilled counseling message is just this. Biotechnology creates biological solutions, while biomedical engineering creates technological solutions for healthcare. Both fields are equally heroic, and both contribute to improving human health through completely different but totally vital approaches. The healthcare challenges of tomorrow are going to need both the microbiologist and the mechanical engineer. The path was clear, the differences are defined, and the choice is entirely yours. So, which solution will you create, biological or technological? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and best of luck on your academic journey.